Yesterday, what we did is we introduced to you this concept of the innovative distributor, right? That if we're going to create this relevant and this sustainable business, the innovative distributors going forward. Yesterday, we spent time looking at the importance of having a vision, the importance of driving that culture that's going to be required, and then having that value proposition. And, you know, the takeaway is that there's usually something bigger in that value proposition going forward than just box in, box out, if you don't mind. So kind of set the stage for today. I'd like to tell you a story about an organization that I uncovered over the last 2 years as we were looking to bring ideas into the industry. And this company is Laylee. Is anybody in the room familiar with Laylee? What? Okay, there you go. You're a cheater. No, because Gary, we talked about it yesterday, right? Yeah, or last month. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So Laylee is a manufacturer of agricultural equipment. They're based in Holland. Their North American headquarters is based in Pella, Iowa, okay? And Laylee is in the business of helping dairy farmers, okay? They sell equipment to dairy farmers. Now, guys, just think for a moment. Think about the job of a dairy farmer. What goes into your mind? An enjoyable job? Not really? Why not? When you think of a dairy farmer, the job of dairy farming, it's hard work. Thank you. Anybody else? 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. probably. 24/7. Thank you. Anybody else? No vacation. Smelly. It's tough. Yeah. You know, and think about this. So it's tough. It's smelly. No vacations. It's 24/7. Yeah, in fact, CareerCast has an annual, yeah, you see it, right? Whenever they evaluate the worst jobs in America, dairy farming is always at the top. 2012, as you see, it was rated number 2 as the worst job in America, okay? And why? Because of the hard work, the hours, and all that type of stuff. In fact, have you ever heard of a dairy farmer having a vacation? You don't. You hear about dairy farmers who can't go to their son's football game on Friday night because why? They got to milk the cows, right? And the like. So it's the worst job in America until a company by the name of Laylee comes around. Now take a look. When we talk about vision and culture and everything, take a look at the vision, the stated vision of Laylee. Their vision is to create a sustainable, profitable, and an enjoyable future in farming. 8 words defines that entire organization. Just 8 words. Now, of those 8 words, which of those does not belong? Yeah. I mean, sustainable belongs, right? I mean, farming, we got to keep it sustainable. All businesses need to be sustainable. Profitable, yeah, they're in business, dairy farmers. But enjoyable, wait. How can farming, dairy farming, be enjoyable where for as long as human beings and cows have come together, we have decided that dairy farming blows? It's so good. It's the worst job in America. Well, one organization said we can transform that. One person embraced it, wanted to make the mark on it, wanted to make a change with just one word. So what happened? So I go out to Pella, Iowa. I tour the factory. It's amazing. And then Steve Freed, the VP of sales for North America, takes me 20 miles outside of Pella, Iowa, to the Hoy family farm. And I walk into the dairy farm. That's actually from my iPhone. And I walk into the dairy farm. And I've been into dairy farms before. And I look at this thing. And I say, you know what? Not that much different. Steve, why'd you bring me here? But then all of a sudden, as we're sitting there talking in that farm, he says, Dirk, turn around and meet Juno. Juno is a little 3-foot-high robot that discharges itself from its charging station when it decides to, and it goes down and starts pushing the feed back to the cows. I watch in amazement. It pushes, and after it gets down to the end of the barn, what do you think it does? It turns around and goes back to its home base to recharge itself for the next time. Guys, I don't know about you, I think it's pretty freaking amazing. Would you agree? I mean, it's amazing. I mean, by the way, who had to do that feed pushing before Juno? The farmer during their son's what? Football game. Amazing. I said, this is cool. Let me go meet you. I said, hold on, Dirk, wait. He said, turn around, look at the other end of the barn, and meet Vector. Vector is an 8-foot-high robot that is not housed in this barn. It's housed in another barn across the driveway. Vector was in the feed kitchen, mixing the feed on its own for the right rations of this herd, and it then walked, rolled, I don't know. It brought itself over to the cows and delivered the appropriate rations to the cows, all automatically. What 3-letter word did we talk about yesterday? Wow. Is that a wow to you? It is a freaking wow to me. It is amazing. My tongue is hanging out. It's amazing. And they said, hold on, wait, Dirk. It's not even done. You haven't met the best. You haven't seen the best part of it. They say, Dirk, look over the backs of those cows. And we want you to meet Astronaut. We want you to meet Astronaut. I said, what is Astronaut? Astronaut's our third robot. Astronaut is a robot that allows the cows to decide when it's right for them, not when every other cow needs to be milked, when it's right for them. The cows individually walk themselves into Astronaut. And can anybody guess what Astronaut does? What does he do? See, I already said he, not it. What does he do? He milks the freaking cow. Where's the farmer? Farmer's at the football game. It's amazing. No, you guys don't. I said, I got to see this. So I went behind. I took out my iPhone, and I know you're going to love this. Bring the lights down, would you, for a second, if you guys can. You guys will love this. You've never seen this before, all right? Here is Astronaut milking a cow. There's Astronaut milking a cow. It's not going to play. Maybe it's not going to play. Okay. Yeah. So there's the arm of the robot. There's the lasers identifying what robot it is, identifying where the udders are, all automatically. It knows what cow that is. And then it's taking the milk, bringing it through the system. Is that amazing? It's amazing. And then what happens? By the way, where's the farmer while all this is going on? What's he doing? He's enjoying the football game. But do you know what? He's also on his iPhone. He's also on his iPhone because the data of every single part of that milk that's coming out, the fat content, the quantity, everything is being fed in real time up to the cloud. Did we hear about the cloud yesterday? Did we hear about mobile yesterday? Did we hear about the explosion of data? And the opportunity is in identifying and how to make sense of that data? The farmer is there in real time. Guys, I'm blown away. What do you guys think about that technology? Anybody? It's incredible. Is that right? Is it wow? But here's the point. Ready? Come on. Here's the point. This is not a story about technology. It ain't. This is as phenomenal as that is. This is not a story about technology. It's a story about individuals like you making a decision that they can transform, that they can change, that they can innovate things that you and I have taken for granted, that we have taken as truisms in our business and in our industry. That's the story. It took somebody to have the vision that by God, as long as human beings and cows have been on this planet, everybody has thought that farming, dairy farming, had to be the worst job in America. One organization, one company, maybe one individual had that vision, had to bring it through the entire organization to say, we can make that change. Now you read about dairy farming in Laylee. It's no longer about the worst job. It's about finding time for those farmers to go to their son's what? Football game. I'm amazed. The last thing we do after 3 hours on that farm, I'm sitting on the farm, And Mr. Hoy and his 2 sons who farm the farm are standing there. And I have one last question for them. And you see it on the screen. I said, gentlemen, did these robots impact your business, the profitability, the productivity, your labor costs? Which they did. Did it have more impact on that or on your personal lives? Mr. Hoy looked at his sons, truly, didn't say a word and nodded to him, saying, I'll take this one, boys. And Mr. Hoy looked at me. Honest to goodness, he started crying. And what he said to me was, he said, Dirk, let me tell you, without a doubt, it's impacted our personal lives. He says, let me tell you about last Thanksgiving. He said, last Thanksgiving was the first time in my 70 years that I was able to sit down with my family, my entire extended family, at 5:30 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day and enjoy Thanksgiving dinner. You know, one of the themes of yesterday, too, was that our value propositions, our business model, have got to get beyond the logic, right? We've got to attach to the emotional as well. We can embrace that. You see, in my mind, somebody had the guts. Somebody dared to think differently. Somebody dared to leave Unleash and go back to that organization and declare that what we are doing, there is a better way. We can do better. We can learn from outside of the industry. We can embrace the innovation. One of the things that sticks in my mind from yesterday and everything else, I think this sums it up. I think if we're going to drive change and innovation and transformation, if we're going to take everything that we're going to learn from Jay Rogers right now and everybody else from yesterday and today, you know, we got to leave here and we got to be prepared to stand for something. The bolder it is, the better. The bolder it is, the better. Enjoyable dairy farming pulls people to them. There's going to be some resistance, but it's going to pull the real innovators to them. So the question I'd like to leave you with this morning, as we get ready to look at business model and transformative leadership today, I'd like you to think about this question. What are the industry truisms? What are the truisms within your own company that need to be disrupted, that need to be obliterated? Because they are there. And every one of us in the room, as Steve Jobs reminded us, we have the ability to become that disruptor.